his medkit canceled against Shark, but by then Taco, it's a 2v1. It's lights out.
It's exactly what Clicks and Higgs needed. You're trying to establish dominance off rip, and that's sending a very clear message. But for Tyler and Chance, a lot of trouble currently brewing here. Minority and Darkos are not willing to let this one slip away from them. They know that they have more than enough damage to kind of wait this one out, and if it's going to be a battle of attrition, that's one Minority and Darkos have no issues fighting out. They'll be able to claim one elimination in all that mess.
Yeah, you don't necessarily see where the other teams or players are at in terms of that Storm Surge leaderboard, but if you're a team like Minority and Darkos, you're above that damage threshold deep in the zone, and a team is just trying to bulldoze into your box, that is a huge red flag, and they played that one perfectly. As we rotate out of Dark Dominion, you see players rotate through the top, but right here, Venno and Curve knowing the map perfectly, they go right underneath and they try to take those tunnels.
Tunnels can be dangerous, though. You have to remember, there's trying to camp these out. It's an affair that Swizzy and Pixie are all too familiar with, and I'm sure Venno, he's definitely been strategizing, definitely been trying to factor in every single possibility, but as the zones close in, as some of these teams get more and more desperate, Furia's duo in a spot of trouble here. Night and Gone, they need damage. They're only 28 below. They're trying to see if they can apply some pressure to what look like Chap and Flixie, but they're still sitting just underneath that threshold. A singular tag would do it, but will they be able to find it? Everybody is just refusing to budge, even the other duos that are in danger.
It almost makes you wonder how many players at this edge of the zone, as it continues to pull towards the north, are below or on the line when it comes to that damage threshold.
EverKing2 says in game, comma heart emoji, heart emoji, heart emoji, heart emoji, heart emoji, heart emoji.
Same boat. They had an early game fight, and
Heroic says in game, thank you, bro.
They're above or below. There's not a bunch of confidence with single-digit numbers, and that's why Flixie and Chap, they also need loot. This is just one tough situation to get out of. Flixie's gonna get dropped. The onslaught just continues as Chap falls as well.
Cringe is just on a rampage of his own demise here. He's got Twy coming in behind him, but now Sky looks to be a solo overhead. He's got Night and Gone, but Mad and Cold, they got to deal with Peterbot, who's now the solo. The reboot has been a success up until this stage, Jacob. Now Pete from 6 zone onwards has to try and fare as a solo. And with so many other teams already looking at him, will he even get a chance to touch down? Just barely, but even then, only 2 overdrive grenades, a sliver of materials. He's running through his build so rapidly, he doesn't have a chance to breathe.
Yeah, basically needs a full elimination here, worth of damage, no extra heals, and you can see his material count so low.
Ground basing, slight cliff face. Malabuka and Biko also in a rather isolated position. It's all about who's going to expose themselves first, though.
Yeah, and I think this is going to be a tough zone for a lot of the teams, especially those that might not have the materials. It's not a drastic elevation change, but you're seeing regarding to go up the side of Frigid Fortress. And you see Gino, Pablo, 50 below. They land some shots, but they're still 8 below that damage threshold. But these guys are experts. They know these single-digit numbers is not a reason to get desperate. You can find damage all along the way, and that is their plan from point A to point B. They're trying to elevate themselves on top. They fall below the damage threshold once more, but Pablo and Chino are doing their best to get high ground.
It's insane, though, just how quickly that surge threshold can turn against you. And Pablo, Chino, they're still sitting at just 75 below, but when they face all the way up towards the high ground, they'll have a better opportunity to try and scope things out. But Clicks, Higgs, they're looking to make the chop. They're looking to go up. They want to see if they can be the ones to take over, and they'll at least force Chino and Pablo back for a moment, but it is just topsy-turvy, upside down, because Camby and Adi from across the way just looking to take everybody out. But Clicks, he's still got the ball rolling here. Chino has fallen. Higgs credited with the elimination, but Pablo as a solo, what can he do from here?
Yeah, some people would say 7th zone, 8th zone might be too early to take that high ground with Clicks and Higgs. That's something that's been their game plan since the NA Central FNCS. Bahari, Cammy, they did all that damage. They disrupted everything, but it's them on top of the castle. They already have 2 elims, and when you look at their loadout, from the slap pizza to the medkits, they have 2 different win conditions.
They've got all sorts of tools at their disposal, but whether or not teams are going to look to challenge here, Clicks and Higgs, they'll opt for frontside low ground. Instead, they know that they have to forfeit the high ground temporarily, but Cammy, Hadi, they got to reestablish Malabuka and lost Vico along the way, though, and just underneath them, Ritual Agers, they won't get a chance to take shots. Malabuka boxing up, but only hard match left, and they are going to be spent at a cost here. Cold and Rapid seemingly pinpointed this solo operation.
Oh, and Malabuka's daring. He tries to go ahead and get aggressive on the Cold and Rapid. Saw that one coming, immediately answered defensively, and now they're peeking over the top. Do we have high ground? Is it worth it to invest? I think it is yes, or at least for now, but you got to be careful. Agers, Ritual, they're in the rings waiting to try to, for a moment like that, to strike onto high ground. Clicks and Higgs, they lost it because of the builds. They had no more. They were forced down below, and look at the spot they're in now.
They just spent so much material when they were challenging Chino and Pablo, not realizing the kind of disaster that Cammy and Hadi were actually causing against them. And Higgs, Clicks, they've now been eliminated from the lobby. Hadi, Cammy, though, can they make this shift in elevation? They're forced to continue dropping, but there's already teams at the bottom of the hill, and Pablo is going to be the next to fall.
That's another solo player out, so that's placement points going in. Agers is knocked. Ritual realized that can't be the hero. He's just trying to stay in the zone long enough to try to get the materials, but I don't think he had the chance. Fox is going to get that elimination. Noah Riley trying to do the same thing. The last of the heals, though, as the Chug runs out, but they're still running outside of zone. That elimination onto Ritual that he just got is going to give him the siphon so he can make his way back into the zone with Reed and Cooper.
But Cooper, Reed, they got a little bit of advantage here now. They know that this is only Noah Riley. They're going to take him out, no problem. Cooper with 3. Reed has 2 as well. Rapid and Cold, though, still in full control of the high ground. And with the way that the zone has pulled Jacob over this shifting elevation, it has posed so many issues for these teams down below. Cold and Rapid also continuing to apply so much steady pressure. They've got the Flow Ravens grenades if they need them. And Acorn, unfortunately, he's got to do it all his own.
Yeah, and at this stage of the game, top 8, you got 5 players running around as solos. At least half of the placement points have been awarded. So this is the stage of the game where you really become a difference maker. As Darm picks up that elimination on a Minori. Pixie using the last of his heals. He's just trying to scrape together any extra placements. Maybe a free shot from the backside of the box. Hero, he tries to get it, but Pixie gets sent right back to the lobby. He truly might be the hero.
And Hero feeling good after that one. 7 eliminations in total is a solid start here in game 1, but Reed, Cooper, they want more than that. They want to see if they can win this one outright. Front side, fully in their control. Looking back, but Reed's gone down. Cooper was targeting ahead, and Reed wasn't able to withstand the pressure. Yepko, Panzer, they're going to be the ones taking over.
They hopped in the box and took them down with ease. We know Cold and Rapid all around high ground. Yapko, Panzer, they're on below. Hero is still in the backside of the zone. He's disrupting everything until he eventually falls. Yapko and Panzer, they do get the elimination. They make a desperate attempt to go outside of the zone and pick up the materials. But Rapid and Cold, they see how weak they are. They're dropping down from above. They're trying to keep the win condition intact, but he gets sent flying up. Rapid blocks it with a ram. Cold gets the down. 2v1 situation here. Panzer, Cold, they trade shots, but Cold will not go down without a fight. They win game 1 with ease.
Cold and Rapid just had the ultimate cutoff there. They knew exactly what needed to be done, and they took every single step possible to take over.
Guys, that was an absolute masterclass in the high ground. Stand up so Dusseldorf can see you. Cold, how did you know that the time was right to take height?
I mean, that's all Rapid, you know, this is what he does, you know, he's the best IGL in the world, and he showed it right there.
So all you needed to do was listen. So Rapid, how did you make that call?
Makla, descent height, that might have been the easiest lobby ever.
Do you think that people just were not wanting to challenge on height anymore? Because you had it for like 3 zones, unchallenged.
I mean, yeah, nothing they could do.
Nothing they could do. You make the drop down, you're up against Yapko and Panzer in that 2v2 situation. Who's making the call to go upwards and try and get that shot? Because you're flying Cold.
It was kind of both our call, you know, like we knew that we just...
See the weather change here in Germany. Suddenly a cold front's coming in. That's right. It happened. I cannot believe this just happened. Game number 1. Cold and Rapid come out swinging.
Come out swinging, man. A big change in strategy, too. We look up, it's like, what the heck? Cold and Rapid are up on the high ground. For anybody that doesn't typically watch NA, man, usually you can find these guys mid-ground, low-ground, kind of feeling comfortable down there, but you heard them after that game. They were like, yeah, man, kind of just sent it.
Yeah, and he said it was free, too, which is the most interesting part. I mean, if we looked before that, there were so many height retakes. They just took it at that perfect moment, and I mean, it was just playing it by the book after that. But not only did they secure a nice, clean win, look at the amount of eliminations that Cold is just picking up back to back to back. These AR shots do not miss.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be all about the refreshes. You can see them continually picking up all of those eliminations. And we were kind of jumping around from POV to POV when we were watching Height kind of get crazy, right? When we saw like 4 different teams kind of find themselves up on the high ground over the course of, what was that, like 60 seconds? The material counts for all of those teams were just so shambles that they had no chance to actually hold it for the rest of the game. So when you tune into a team like Cold and Rapid, and they are picking up those eliminations, they are picking up those refreshes, they're picking up those extra materials, they are in a healthy enough spot to actually go for the high ground and hold it, and that is exactly what they did.
Absolutely crazy stuff out of Cold and Rapid. Remember, we just need to be in the top 25 to secure ourselves a spot in on Sunday for finals. And after this game, I feel like we are looking really, really good. I can't wait to see the standings as well, because remember, all of these dudes are thinking the same thing. We just need that good game. We need to make sure we're keeping up in the top 25. But seriously, Cold and Rapid, what the heck? I love that you kind of call out. What are they doing on high ground? What's crazy, too, is even looking in for a moment there, Clicks and Higgs decide, hey, we're going to go for this height. And everyone in the lobby was like, hey, don't let that happen up there. What are we doing?
No, Clicks and Higgs actually had a very good approach to that high ground. Ritter was like, oh my gosh, they're getting a free chop. They get the chop. The high ground team's kind of falling down. They had no mats. They were just like that close from actually stealing away the high ground. But unfortunately, yeah, the lobby was like, well, no, we're not going to let that happen.
Not today. Well, look, guys, after that last win, guess what? We've got a listen in from that moment. Ooh. Take a look.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to talk to you in a second. You're not really connected by much.
Okay.
I should have probably connected to you nice.
Looks side, that's like a high team. If you see a map on, make sure you comment.
You literally just got to make sure, like, you know, we're up here. I could miss this. We could jump down to the side of the hill and get a little bit closer to them. I think we should. Take that in.
Yeah, do it.
Yeah, I'm missing this, I'm gonna go down.
Top
you don't have, you can stay up if you want, you can stay up.
I like that.
Yeah.
Quick.
51. Yeah, I'm gonna try. Nice.
Hey,
let's fucking go, baby, come on, let's go.
Calm, cold, collected is how this duo was feeling. And I mean, look, they were excited, but it looked like it was just another day in the battle bus. I mean, it just looked like a normal day for this duo. The confidence is there. We heard it in the pre-game interview, and now closing it out. Look, there is one thing I do want to bring up here. It's not my EU bias, I promise. Okay? Not my EU bias, but all the top 3 teams that were in that final zone land at the northeast side of the map. We had a northeast zone.
Put that out there. All right, let's take a look at standings real fast. We got to take a look at how everything else is shaping up for the rest of the lobby. Already, look at the points are crazy, but want to highlight here for you, second place, Yapko and Panzer. Showing up in this 2v2 NA versus you, I'm sorry, being unbiased. This was crazy, right? We even saw some shots out of Yapko and Panzer taking down Rate and Cooper, just crazy.
Yeah, I mean, shout out to the 3 duos here, right? You had Cold and Rapid, obviously, you know, full chilling up on the high ground. And then you had Yapko and Panzer, one of the only 3 duos left. And the other duo that was kind of alive in the mix once we got into the top 10 was Rate and Cooper. But as soon as Yapko and Panzer kind of had an opportunity to take it to Rate and Cooper on the low ground, I'm not gonna lie, it happened so fast. Panzer and Yapko just hit some clean shots. Watch this kind of phase in right here. Clean shots from both of them to go ahead and secure the second place. And in the mix, we also see Hero off in the distance. Hold up.
Hold up, Hero. 8x FNCS champs as a duo. But yeah, Yapko Panzer, they were out of match. They made the aggressive play, and it worked. I was getting a little nervous for Cold there when the initial shot from Panzer came through, but in the end, Cold Rapid did take the win. But hey, second place, kicking things off as a reminder, it is top 25 to move on to Sunday. So all of these teams we just saw are looking incredibly strong.
That's right, man. Every single interaction is going to matter, right? We only have 6 games to end in the top 25. And as you kind of called out, we saw Hero from Middle East in that moment, top 3 as a solo, mind you. In the chaoticness that is this crazily stacked lobby, Hero shows up big and clutches.
Yeah, I mean, you got to be feeling good after a game like that for all of these teams that are picking up just so many points. Be curious to do some math over the course of the day to kind of get some expectations for what top 25 will actually look like. But yeah, game 1 right here coming out of the gate swinging. It might just be the only game some of these teams really need to actually pick up enough points.
Yeah, a lot of the pressure is lifted after that for these teams that got not only top 3, even top 5. I know FKS Hero, they're happy they switched to South Latte Landing for this day. The question is, I mean, FKS Hero aren't contested, but for example, Cold Rapid are. So now they have kind of that freedom, that lifted pressure to play a bit more aggressive now.
I will say, though, Cold and Rapid were kind of expected, like you said, to be contested. I don't think they were that game. They did actually take advantage of some of the contestation that's kind of going on towards Sandy. That's where they picked up some of their early elims, picked up some of that early surge that they could kind of, snowball into the end game. So keep an eye on the early game towards that way.
And I do just have to wonder, obviously this being the first game in this environment for many of these teams, maybe it's their first time. There's a lot of jitters, right? When you kind of get put in this situation, you're not at home in the comfort of your home, the comfort of your setup. You don't have your shoes kicked off. You don't have your desk a certain way, right? Your monitors. This is a completely different environment. So, this being game number 1, I'm just going to chalk this up to like, hey, let's get game number 1 out of the way. Now we can kick things off crazily, right?
Look, a big team that I'm looking at in terms of the pressure, the nerves, perhaps, it's Shark and Teeny. They were contested at Wonky Land by Clicks and Higgs, and this is a team that they have what it takes. They've proven that they have what